WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Michael Cohen of Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Michael, how are you this afternoon?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. Busy. I'm starting to realize it's election season, so we got all these guests now.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it is a good thing. Always good to be busy. Now, I'm looking at thinkcohens.com. Folks, you've got to check it out, thinkcohens.com. And putting my cursor over appliances. And actually, I'm kind of looking at your washer-dryer setups. Like, if somebody is like, I'm tired of my old one, it's gone fully kaput, what should I go with in terms of a washer-dryer unit?
Well, if you do a lot of washing, or if you want something that's going to last a long, long time, Speed Queen is clearly the way to go. The way that they're engineered, they use so much more metal when they build their units. Everybody else is using as much plastic, even in their pumps and their motors, and Speed Queen barely uses any plastic. Their entry level comes with a 3-year warranty, the step up, a 5-year warranty, the top of the line, a 7-year warranty. And the difference in the steps is only like $100. So it's almost worth it for the step just to get the extra 2 years of warranty. But you're also getting more frills and features if that's important to you.
Well, and would you recommend the stacked ones or like the 2 separate units?
You know, to me, I think the difference of getting a stacked or the regular, what we would call top load, is really just kind of dependent on your home. I don't think you go wrong either way. I had a front load and I loved it. I didn't have any of the issues that a lot of people had with them smelling bad. Of course, I use the detergent that we carry, which is an organic detergent that doesn't have all the animal fats. I mean, what makes Tide and all these other detergents so pretty with their colors is a lot of animal fats.
Oh, really?
Which is not good for your washing machine, not good for your clothes, and that's why you get a stinky washing machine, is because of all the animal fats. We sell something called Excelsior that you just use a thimble of it, and I never had any trouble. I mean, my unit was 15 years old when I couldn't get parts for it, and when we took it apart, I mean, it was crystal. It was clean. It did not look like it was 15 years.
Oh, wow. Well, yeah. I learn something new every day. I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah.
But this is sort of an example of the sort of service. Like, y'all have amazing products, but you deliver confidence there at Cohen's. And it's because if somebody does have, like, particular problems, like, why does my washing machine stink? I bought this thing for me, and you can walk them through, like, hey, what detergent are you using?
Well, that's right. I mean, because there's typically a cause and an effect. And so we do want to try to help steer customers in the right direction. But, I mean, we still have a lot of people that want front loads, and then we've got some people that would never have a front load.
Well, there you go. It's just a matter of preference.
That's right. There's no right or wrong choice.
So, folks, if you want to check it out yourself, thinkcohens.com, or you can always call them at 277-8890, and you're still there on the boulevard at 2515 Eastern Boulevard?
We are. We're here Monday through Friday, 9 to 6. On Saturdays, we're here 9 to 4. Come by and let us ask you some questions. You ask us some questions, and let us help steer you to the right product.
Well, appreciate your time as always, Michael, and we'll talk again soon.
Thank you. Have a great day.
And that's Michael Cohen of Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Coming up, it is election season. Have another candidate. It's a secret for now, though.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Tonight's GOP presidential debate from Miami at 8 p.m. Eastern. 5 candidates on the stage: Ron DeSantis, Nikki Haley, Vivek Ramaswamy, Chris Christie, and Tim Scott. Ivanka Trump is testifying that she had no role in her father's personal financial statements, the documents central to the civil fraud trial in New York that alleged that Donald Trump's asset values were fraudulently pumped up for years on financial statements that helped him get loans and insurance. He and other defendants deny any wrongdoing. Complaints about air travel soaring. The U.S. Department of Transportation reporting consumer complaints about airlines are about double what they were last year. On Wall Street, stocks have been lower but are now mixed. The Dow is down 70 points, but the NASDAQ is up 10 points. This is SRN News.
Donald Trump's indictment proves that saving America is not going to be easy. There are entrenched powers that are fighting this with everything they've got. They want to keep control over the country, the narrative, and the nation's money supply. Hi, I'm Lance Wallnau. I'm a news analyst, a Christian author, an evangelical leader. I speak to millions of people every week, people just like you. You see, what the elites are doing is using inflation and government handouts and now central bank digital currencies to determine how they're going to control America. And that's why I recommend all Christians start a gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group. Because physical precious metals are one of the few ways you can maintain control over your own savings. To get a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word faith to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and you'll see why a gold IRA can help you. There are no strings attached. Text the word faith to 989898 and you're going to be blessed by taking action right now.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by the Johnny Adams Law Firm. They want you to stay safe on the road. Please don't text and drive. Get to your destination safely. Your family and friends will thank you. From the Johnny Adams Law Firm.
Rich Thomas Weather.
This extended string of warmer than normal temperatures continues, and soon showers will be back in the forecast, but not right away. Today, dry with lots of sunshine and warm temperatures, high around 83. Partly cloudy, mild tonight, low in the mid-50s. Tomorrow, still dry, mostly sunny, high in the low to mid-80s. Then scattered random showers popping up in the forecast on Friday with a high in the mid-70s. In fact, we'll keep in at least a small chance of showers in the forecast for Saturday and Sunday with highs in the mid to upper 60s over the Veterans Day weekend. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
ASE Credit Union makes auto loans easy with rates as low as 4.75% APR. Apply online or visit your local branch today. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
ASE Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASE.
1819 News.
2 state lawmakers are working on a bill that would make online pornography inaccessible to those under the age of 18. State Representatives Susan DuBose and Ben Robbins are developing a porn ID law that is similar to a law that was passed in the state of Louisiana. That law requires websites with pornographic material to verify the age of anyone seeking to access that material. That system is called Wallet LA, and it uses a third party to verify a digital ID. DuBose says there are a lot of considerations for the bill they're working on, and it will be a priority for her in the Alabama House in order to protect children. State Senator Arthur Orr is also looking to introduce a similar bill in the state Senate. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Brian Dawson here, CEO of 1819 News. I'm also the host of 1819 News, the podcast, and we'd love for you to join us by listening to our weekly show on all the top podcast apps, both in audio and video format. At 1819 News, the podcast, we are in pursuit of a free and flourishing Alabama. Every week, we're having important conversations with guests from across this great state, all with the goal of equipping Alabamians to be in pursuit of a free and flourishing Alabama with us. New episodes are released weekly. I hope you'll join us.
A grand jury in Huntsville issues an indictment against a former correctional lieutenant at the Limestone Correctional Facility. David Tolbert is charged with capital murder for the shooting death of his wife in November of 2022. Tolbert had retired from the ADOC just a year prior. He shot his wife in a vehicle outside of a business during a domestic dispute. Tolbert is currently in the Madison County Jail. A Florida man being sought by U.S. Marshals was found in Alabama. 54-year-old Franklin Smith barricaded himself into a home in the city of Enterprise this past Monday. The standoff lasted for 5 hours before Smith finally surrendered. Smith is wanted in Florida for sexual assault and human trafficking. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
There are two types of drivers in the world, people who own a vehicle or boat and people who love them. If you love your vehicle and boat, treat it like you do by contacting the Works Auto Detail. Kyle will come to you, leaving your vehicle and boat looking better than ever. With 20 years of detailing experience, the Works Auto Detail offers mobile detailing, paint correction, and ceramic coating services. Ask about the 10% discount for all military, first responders, and teachers. Check out the Works Auto Detail with an X online at theworksautodetail.com, on Facebook and Instagram.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Welcome back to the program. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader in the house, but also we have another guest. We have the one, the only, Jacqueline Tomlinson.
Hey.
Hello, Jacqueline. How you doing?
I am well. How are you?
And you're not just here to hang out. You're running. You're running for judgeship.
I am running.
And so this is Circuit Court Place 4?
Yeah, so it's Circuit Court 19. Let me rephrase.
Okay.
It is the 19th Circuit.
Right.
Circuit Court Judge Place 4. So
Place
it's
4.
Watauga, Elmore, and Chilton counties.
Oh,
really?
That's
one.
That is one circuit.
Wow.
You'll hear it referred to as the 19th Circuit. That is
That's
what
a big
encompasses. Circuit. Yes, it is.
Holy cow.
It's a very big circuit.
It's huge.
Okay, so with the Circuit Court, what are some of the basic responsibilities of the job? I'm supposed to be interviewing you for the job, but this is, I guess, a test. What does the job entail?
Listen, you can ask me anything you want. So here's the fun part about Place 4. Place 4 is going to be a family court judge position.
Okay.
So this is a brand new seat. There's not an incumbent.
Okay.
And I will be deciding what I've been doing my entire career, which is family court matters.
Right.
Okay. So other circuit court judges hear all types of circuit cases, meaning they have to rise to a jurisdictional level, and certain types of money and crimes and those types of things, determines who hears circuit court as opposed to district court as opposed to juvenile court. This is a circuit court judge for just family law.
Okay.
So that's why I'm excited, because that's what I do.
You're the expert in that.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm an expert on it, but I would. I've been doing it a long time.
So with family law, of course, divorce proceedings come to mind, but you're also talking about custody issues. Is it do anything having to do with kids will pretty much come up in front of you?
It's mostly all children. I mean, if there's now there's a distinction between circuit court and juvenile court, and there's different cases that are heard depending on the allegations that are made by who and the dynamics of the family unit. But yes, it encompasses divorces, child custody modifications, child support actions can come before this court. Basically anything that has to do with the family that rises to that circuit court venue. Yeah.
And now, for those who don't know, how did you get into this particular area of the law? I'd imagine when you're first at L1 and L2, you didn't know you were going to end up in family court necessarily.
So funny you should bring that up. This is not what I wanted to do. When I went to law school, I did not want to do touchy-feely emotional stuff.
Really?
I wanted to do big business, transactional work, not dealing with people.
Type stuff. Wow.
My parents are divorced. I was raised by a single mom.
Love her, by the way.
Yeah, she's great. And she and my dad have been together since I was 12, but there was a big period of time there, and I watched my mom go through a divorce and all of those things. So when I became a lawyer, or going through the process of becoming a lawyer, I was like, nope, not for me. Then I took a clinic at Jones, eons ago it feels like, that it was a domestic violence clinic. And I got to talk to real people and hear their stories and volunteer my time. And it became real to me that the law has implications.
Yeah.
And it affects people's futures. It can make or break families. And so I started volunteering at Legal Services Alabama. And I did that actually for the last 2 years I was in law school for free.
Really?
Yeah. Not to toot my own horn, but toot toot.
I'm glad you did it, honey.
I won a Distinguished Public Service Award through Jones because of my volunteer hours.
Excellent.
It just became a passion of mine. And when I graduated in 2009, I got offered a job and I was miserable. I was actually doing criminal defense work for a little bit of family law, but criminal defense stuff for maybe 5-6 months.
Yeah.
And finally, my mentor approached me and said, hey, do you want to do family law at my firm? And I said, sign me up.
Good deal.
So I have been doing exclusively family law since about 2010.
Now, being on the different side of the court, like being behind that big old, whatever they call it.
A bench.
Yeah. Or the dais or whatever it is.
Whatever you want to call it.
Like
podium.
I mean, I'd imagine you're already preparing yourself mentally. Like, how different will it be from being a lawyer arguing a case to being the judge hearing these cases?
Yeah, well, it's funny that you asked that question because I think sometimes as lawyers sitting in the courtroom, we have the opportunity to kind of sit there and listen to other people's cases.
Yep.
So we're always kind of in our minds being like, well, what would you do? Well, what did he do? Oh, that was a good argument. Oh, that was a good objection. So, I mean, you're doing it, but I don't know what that transition will feel like because I just announced this on Monday afternoon.
Yeah. Right.
I don't think the dust has settled enough for me to even contemplate what it will be like to be potentially Judge Jacqueline and not Jacqueline and Dana.
Right.
Delkin Tomlinson's what I've been for a very long time. And Dana's the number one person behind me going, why are you not doing this? Like, you need to do this. So to answer your question, I don't know if I've processed that yet.
Right.
But it's exciting to think about.
Well, and I'm wondering, because I guess it depends on what kind of judge, but how much of it is you got to follow the letter of the law, so to speak? You always do, obviously, but here's what I mean. Sometimes it seems fairly automated. That's the law. Okay, here's your decision. Sometimes there is a matter of discretion based on especially in family court, intimate details of the case.
So specifically, I can tell you from my experience and from speaking to other lawyers that do other aspects of the law, that there is a lot of discretion that is given to a trial court judge because you are sitting in the position to be able to read the pleadings, talk to the individuals, hear somebody testifying, watch their demeanor. It's kind of like baking a cake and throwing all those ingredients into it. You don't know how much hard work goes into a case until you've actually watched it from beginning to end. And that's why the circuit courts give trial judges a lot of kind of leeway, discretion to make their decisions because you have to take everything into consideration and you're in the best position to kind of read the room, if you will, to look at somebody and be like, I don't know if they're being 100% truthful with me. But I've had a lot of practice because I have a lot of clients that I do that,
Yep.
I can tell when a client is being forthcoming or if they're kind of holding something back.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You
learn to read people.
Yeah.
Right.
Like my kids, it's like, did she really bite you?
Well, and I asked all the candidates running for whatever sort of judge, justice, is there a particular case that you worked as a lawyer or just a case that maybe you were familiar with that really sticks in your mind that, like, in a way is formative, like, because you just can't forget that particular case?
I can think of quite a few, Joey, to be honest with you. I'm not punting. I could take your entire show one day and talk about the cases that have been influential into my career, not just because they may have had a wonderful ending, but the cases that I took the most from and I learned the most from and that grew me as an attorney. That's why I think it is so important to have experience in what you're doing because I am not the same attorney that I was when I started.
Of course not.
I'm not the same attorney that I was a year ago.
Right.
I mean, you're constantly learning and changing and modifying.
Constant improvement.
But to answer your question, I can think of a solid 5 or 6 cases that without a doubt have impacted my life, that have made me confident in this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right. I mean, and we don't have to get into specifics, but I mean kind of like generically, was it something like, oh, I've never had to take on this type of controversy before, or I'm not, and now I overcame that, I met that?
Yeah. So here's a perfect example. And I won't get too specific because it was a case that had a lot of attention. But early on when Dana and I formed Delkin Tomlinson, we had the opportunity to represent a father where the child was in the custody of the mother, was found in another state. There have been laws that have been passed since then because of this case. And that was the first, I guess, real eye-opening case that we had, that this child almost lost his life to abuse, that a parent was physically abusing a child, and seeing the ramifications that had on this child and how many things fell through the cracks that allowed that to happen. And that was a real career-changing case because Dana and I had never had a case of that magnitude that had that much attention. I mean, we had national news calling our office, and I'm like, I get nervous when Joey calls. You know, but we had big news organizations. We were releasing press releases. And Dana and I were like, what is this? So that was definitely formative.
Now, and is there a way that you've had to develop maybe the words detachment? You can hear this in the medical community too. Heck, you can kind of hear it in the news business to a certain degree, or you have to decide these things dispassionately. And so I'd imagine there were times in the courtroom where it's tough to keep that bottled up or at least compartmentalized, right?
So Dana and I have always had, there's two things we kind of live by in our practice. You can't pour from an empty cup. So you always have to take care of yourself first and make sure that you have self-care, whatever that looks like for you. And then the other thing is you take your client as you find them. And that is a really hard pill for a lot of people to swallow. But at the end of the day, I believe personally that everybody deserves adequate representation, regardless of the crime. And so it's hard to think about that, but everybody deserves to have the best representation possible in their circumstance. And so for me, I've learned that sometimes I do have to desensitize myself from what I'm looking at. It's almost like, I'll give an example of my law enforcement husband, right? He sees things every day that would probably make me cringe and cry in a corner. And he can disassociate it almost like it's not real. Like, it's very real. But when you look at a photograph of something or you're on a crime scene, you can kind of say,
you separate himself a little
it's like a movie. Same thing with what we deal with. I have seen a lot of things that I wish I hadn't seen. I have had to have kids tell me things that I wish I never heard. But at the end of the day, if they don't tell me, how can we fix it? If somebody doesn't know, then we can't change it. And it's important to me that we take the time to listen to change those things. So you kind of learn, okay, I don't want to know this fact, but I have to do something about it. It's a responsibility.
Again, folks, we're talking to Jacqueline Tomlinson. She's running for Circuit Judge Place 4. And I didn't know this was newly created, so no incumbent. Has anybody else announced for this?
Yeah. So it's a newly created seat. There are two other attorneys that are running out of Prattville for our circuit. There's Nicole Clark and Dee Dee Calhoun. Both are colleagues of mine, great lawyers, good women. You know, I'm proud to call them my my colleagues. So they're running, and so no Democratic opposition at the moment. But I think qualifying ends, you would know better than I would, probably Friday.
I think Friday, yeah.
So as of right now, I don't believe that there is one. So if I survive primaries, then we just keep rocking along till November.
Now, why was this new seat created?
There's a need.
Okay.
There's no doubt.
There's a need. And the 19th Circuit is booming and it's growing, and our judges are overworked and there's so many cases. And so they created this seat, and there's actually another judicial seat that's coming, place 5, but I believe that's the 2026 election.
Okay. No, it's fascinating because I rarely say fund the government more, but I often have noticed with our judicial system, it's ugly word. It's a bit constipated.
To go to trial on things.
And it shouldn't. And if you think about it, I will say the judges that I deal with on a daily basis are very good about managing their dockets to get emergencies in as soon as they can. But they cannot please everybody. And when you have hundreds of cases in front of you and you're hearing, all the motions hearings and final hearings and the temporary hearings, there's not enough hours in the day. And so you do need we do need another seat.
No doubt, especially that district. That's a huge geographical area. Those 3 counties are huge.
It is. And so I had court in Chilton County Monday. And I drove so I live in Elmore County. I drove over to Chilton County, and I was just driving. I'm thinking, wow, like this is
a lot of territory.
There's a lot of land out here. I mean, I guess you don't realize because I live in the city.
Right.
I was like, wow, and how beautiful it was. Like I've never realized our area is absolutely stunning, especially this time of year.
Yep.
But I was like, man, like there's a lot of land out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it sounds like there was a need. I've just noticed it across the board with our judicial system. So I'm glad this is taking place and getting going, and I'm very happy to see you running for it.
Thank you, Joey.
And now, if you want to come back anytime before Election Day, feel free. Open door policy. We have it with all the candidates, as much as y'all want, for the most part.
I appreciate that.
But if people are interested in donating, whether their time or their money, they want to support your campaign, how can they do so?
So right now, so I announced Monday afternoon. So our website is in the works. It should hopefully be up by either this afternoon or tomorrow.
Okay.
We do have a Facebook page. And you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to pull it up and look because my name is so long. I want to make sure that people know exactly where to go. So it's Jacqueline Tomlinson for Circuit Judge, Place 4. And I'm going to be odd and just spell my name, Joey, because it's not easy to spell. It's JACQUELYN and Tomlinson, TOMLINSON.
Jacqueline Tomlinson for Circuit Judge, Place 4.
Place 4.
Yep. Looking at it now.
Yeah, it's got my picture on it.
Beautiful picture, by the way.
Thank you. And hopefully we'll have some pictures dropping soon of little Lola and Steven because they are just as much a part of this campaign as I am. So if you see my wild children on the campaign trail, I promise we do try to teach them manners, but they are like, they're
children.
wild.
And they're great children, too, by the way.
Well, thank you. They're a little feral, but aren't we all?
Well, and has Randall got a question? Hey, Randall, you're on with Jacqueline Tomlinson.
And this is such an honor. I came back yesterday at the right time, I guess, this week because I heard you announce on Gray's show, but you remind me so much of Joy Pace, Bruce. It's just I don't know. She used to have had that seat, and y'all family oriented, and the way your kids always come first. You're always planning parties. You're always going to dance. You're always, you're going somewhere doing something with them. And it's just amazing to know that somebody's going to fall right in that place because she was an amazing woman. And you're right about it growing. And how do you see, when you look at Chilton County and Ottawa County and you look at the difference in the adoption rate or the how many kids go through the system through adoption from the state, and why the county is so close, how many Chilton County has versus how many Ottawa County has? Is there anything you could? I mean, is there a reason for that? Do y'all look at that, the numbers, or is that just something that y'all, as a judge, you just have to case by case, and it really, it ain't nothing to do with the county. It just so happens to be that way.
Yeah. I would say this, Randall. I would say that knowing the circuit like I'd known the circuit and practicing in the 19th Circuit, although they are one circuit, Ottawa, Chilton, and Elmore County are all very different from one another.
Oh, yeah.
They are, they have similarities, but they have their differences. And I think it just happens to be one of those things that every county is a little bit different. It's kind of like looking at Montgomery County against Jefferson County.
Right.
We're all in the state of Alabama, but every county has its own little individualities.
I guess, yes, ma'am. Welcome aboard, and I can't wait to run to the box to put the check by your name.
Thank you, Randall. I appreciate that.
All right.
See you, Randall.
Man, we'll see ya.
See you, brother.
Well, we've run out of time, but
sorry, Joey.
Great to see you, and glad you're putting yourself out there this way.
Thank
I think.
you.
Congratulations.
Thanks,
It's
Eddie.
a great thing to see. And,
Looking forward to helping you out.
I'll get you guys some merch.
Yes.
I haven't ordered any yet because,
If you need somebody in front of that department, let me know.
I'll get you guys some shirts, maybe some sweatshirts.
I like the idea of that.
Yeah. You don't like these?
I mean, I want to know why Eddie didn't order me one.
This is what
They're
I
on
keep
back
telling
order.
him.
Everybody else is
I
on
mean,
back
I
order.
feel like opportunity lost here. I would definitely rock an American flag hoodie.
They're so cool.
I mean,
They're so cool.
They really are.
I like them.
I'm going to find one on Temu for myself.
There you go.
But I appreciate you having me on, guys.
Thank you,
Thank you, Jacqueline. Now, Eddie, this part of the program brought to you by New Look Decorating Center.
Yeah, Joey, I've got to get back over there. I've been doing a lot of painting, as you are well aware.
Oh, yeah.
So I've almost painted myself out of paint.
Oh, really?
Yes. And of course, I've got a couple projects I need to finish, so I'm going to have to get a little bit of paint from them, probably a couple gallons. But one of the nice things I did, and they really talked me into it, instead of buying it by the gallon from the get-go, I went ahead and bought a 5-gallon bucket because they knew how much walleye I was going to have to cover. And they're like, Eddie, don't buy 6 or 7 1-gallon cans. Let's put all this in a 5-gallon bucket, save you some time, and be much more efficient.
See,
Guess
that's
what? They were right.
That's the great advice you'll get from Brett Lanham, from Jordan or Katie. Katie's the wallpaper fabric specialist. Whether you're looking to contract out the job or do it yourself, like Eddie Boy here, they can help you out there at New Look Decorating Center. You can always call them at 271-0007. That's 271-0007. And I really encourage you to stop by that showroom. Go say hi to that great staff. They can help you. 6237 Atlanta Highway, right where Bell Road dead ends to Atlanta Highway. You'll see it in all its glory. Benjamin Moore's New Look Decorating Center. And be sure to tell them, well, you heard about them here on News and Views in the afternoon. Bonus points if you say Joey and Eddie sent you. More News and Views in the afternoon after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi there, I'm Madeline Cannon with Alabama Home Mortgage. Getting pre-approved is the first step towards home ownership. People are often scared or nervous about taking that first step, but I'll tell you, it's nothing to be scared of. At Alabama Home Mortgage, we will take the first step and every step along the way with you. Call us at 567-4223. We will gather the information needed to tell you exactly what you qualify for. After a call to Alabama Home Mortgage, you will know what price point to shop for, what down payment is required, if any, and what your monthly mortgage payment will look like. We take all the guessing out of it. Then, when you find the house you want to make your home, you are ready to make an offer. Along with your offer, you will submit your Alabama Home Mortgage pre-approval letter. This shows sellers that you've already taken the steps necessary to ensure that you qualify to purchase their home. Wait no longer. It's time to take that first step together. Call me at 567-4223 or start the process online at myalabamahomemortgage.com.
That's Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-368, Equal Housing Lender.
This is your roving reporter, and today I'm talking with a famous broadcaster.
Hey man, what's happening?
Now, I understand you radio people move a lot, is that correct?
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, how does this affect your taking care of your retirement money?
Oh man, I don't give that a second thought because my buddy David Ernest, he's my money man.
Your money man?
With the money plan.
I see.
So no matter where I go up and down the dial, David has my back, you know?
I'll bet you know some phone numbers our listeners could call to talk with David Ernest.
334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839.
And he has a website at retirewithernest.com.
Hey, you're on top of it today, man.
I also understand that you hold some sort of a record in broadcasting.
Yes. I was the first person to put together a show with myself, a duck, a chicken, and a goose. But it didn't last long. We got taken off the air.
Why were you taken off the air?
Too much foul language, man.
Oh, my.
So I wasn't crazy about that one myself.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. Now, there's a lady out there that listens.
Yeah?
Named Cindy.
Okay.
She's been listening for years, and I like Cindy very much. Cindy doesn't often call, but she has been messaging me throughout the show, and I have to say, her string of messages are kind of a pretty good rant.
Really?
She starts with, and she means
Do
this
tell.
wholeheartedly, folks, Trump did not keep all his promises. Did not end Common Core.
Did not.
Did not make Mexico pay for the wall. Did not lock up Hillary. Didn't abolish any agencies. Did not keep his promise not to sign any continuing budget resolutions. Signed 2 omnibus bills after promising not to do so. Contributed more to the national debt than most recent administrations. So many broken promises. People get the kind of government they deserve. And then she sends a link here, and it's of Thomas Massey. He was trying to kill the kill switch bill.
Mm-hmm.
There is this aspect of the law that was being passed where it gives the government, in certain circumstances, they'd never abuse it, to kill your car remotely.
Yeah.
Massey was trying to get rid of that power. No, they just ignored him. More government control. Wow.
That's, well, you talk about government control or just control. You have an iPhone, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you haven't noticed this. If you have an Android phone and you're on Facebook, you no longer have a back button. Your back button on your phone doesn't work. You have to go to Facebook back button. So they have control of my device, essentially is what they've done.
Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't know it was that bad.
I didn't know it till the other day. I saw a meme that somebody said, "Hey, Facebook, I want my back button back."
I don't trust Apple completely, but actually I kind of like their products for that. It seems a lot more secure than other
And
stuff.
that
It's
aspect
more
that-
costly because it's closed source.
Yeah, but it shocked me that, and I was proud. Apple, for whatever reason, they couldn't manipulate theirs.
Well, I just wanted to share that rant by Cindy because I think there are a lot of people who are feeling this way, just frustrated. With even the best among us, it's like they're still not keeping their promises. Though, I also got a clip. I'm not going to play it because I'm just not in the mood. But Hillary Clinton saying, if Trump wins, then it's the end of our country as we know it. Don't you know that Hitler was duly elected? Yeah, because Trump wrote a book called isn't that the heart? Like if you flip through Art of the Deal, you'll find him talking about my struggle,
right,
and making his whole philosophy about the Jewish menace. Give me a break. Constantly comparing everybody to Hitler when Hitler was a very clear thing. Unfortunately, not enough people saw what he was saying in the 20s.
Yeah, but Hillary's smart enough to know most Americans, when it comes to history, she can say what she wants to say, and then, but oh yeah, I remember that.
And then another kicker to me is that you've got all these folks who go, democracy, democracy, and our institutions, and democracy, and democracy. Hey, you know what? Democracy and the institutions y'all built can be just as authoritarian as any dictator.
Yeah.
It's a different system with the same damn effect and outcome. And I'm just tired of the moral posturing that goes on. Like we're told constantly, the Ukrainian people, we're protecting a free democratic nation against the Russian aggression. Well, this just came out today. President Zelensky cancels Ukraine presidential election.
Yep.
Because that's what FDR did in the middle of World War II, right? That's what Lincoln even did No, neither of them did.
Right.
As well, we got to fight them. We got to fight back the Russians. We've destroyed half of the Russian army. No, sure. If you believe that, I got a bridge to sell you.
Not only that, you look at Ukrainian army, the draft is there. They no longer have young people to draft. Your average Ukrainian soldier, 42 years old.
Right. And then also on top of this, interest on the national debt is now soared past $1 trillion. Yep. It is now the largest item in the U.S. budget.
Leadership.
The largest single item in the U.S. budget. U.S. debt to surpass $50 trillion by 2033 within a decade. It'll probably be faster than that.
It'll be faster, you know it will.
National debt grows by $5 billion every 24 hours. In reaction to this, you're seeing central banks all around the world buying gold at record levels.
Yep.
As the GOP continues to underperform with bad leadership and crappy ideas. And, oh, shocker, Republicans face a donor dilemma and a turnout crisis. Maybe because you don't inspire at all.
Yeah.
It's like the country club, but you don't even have country clubs anymore. But then you get these weird signs of hope if you want to take down the system. If you want to give a big middle finger to the establishment, Trump, CNN came out with a poll.
Oh?
You know, we talked about that New York Times Siena College poll.
Mm-hmm.
Well, CNN's poll confirms it. Trump leads Biden 49-45. Trump is now strong with black and Hispanic voters. This is now being confirmed by CNN's own poll. 1 year from the election day, 2024, former President Donald Trump narrowly leads President Joe Biden, 49% to 45% among registered voters. It's a hypothetical rematch in the latest CNN poll. Biden's re-election chances are buffeted, or is it buffeted?
I'm going to go with buffet.
I think it's buffeted, actually. But
I think you're messing out.
By deeply negative approval ratings, a stagnant sense that things are going poorly in the United States, diminished support among key voter blocs, and a widespread sense that he is just not up for the job. In the potential rematch between Biden and Trump, neither candidate has much room for growth. All told, 51% of voters nationwide say there's no chance at all that they would vote for Biden, and just 4% are not currently supporting him but say there is a chance they will. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Nearly half, 48%, say there's no chance they will vote for Trump, and only 2% of folks say that they aren't currently backing him but would consider it. That's a remarkable number. That's not much room at all. What, 6% of people sitting there undecided between those two? I mean, that's what makes or breaks
it does.
an election.
It just seems that's a very, I mean, again, I just think of people that I surround myself with, people I know. That seems pretty tight. Because a lot of people I know are one side or they're really literally one or the other.
No, it reflects kind of the sense you get out there. But Biden's support in the poll is significantly weaker now among several groups that he previously won by wide margins and were critical to his election in 2020. Among voters younger than 35, which I guess I'm still that way, and except for a few weeks later, I'm being an old man. But voters younger than 35, 48% support Trump, 47% support Biden. Wait, young people are supporting Trump. Not a big number, but that's usually a big number for Democrats.
Right.
So for Trump to have a lead within the margin of error, that's something. Political independents break 45% Trump, 41% Biden. Black voters favor Biden 73%, that's a big number, to Trump's 23%. That's unheard of for a Republican in the modern era. While Latino voters, or is it Hispanic, or I guess they gave up that Latinx thing. But they split 50 to Biden, 46% to Trump. And among voters of color in general, women divided 63% for Biden to 31% for Trump, while men split about evenly. 49% Trump to 46% Biden. Now, I think the biggest divide in this country is a partisan one, but I think if you look at, say, the usual identity demographic groups, actually, I think the biggest divide, politically speaking, is men and women.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. There are more and more women who had a distaste for Trump. I don't know, he's boorish or he's gaudy or reminds you of your ex.
It seemed to be coming around.
Yeah, it's a pretty rude joke. You don't hate Trump, you hate Dad. I didn't say it. I just heard somebody say it the other day.
Yeah, write that down.
Yeah, save that for... Wait, do your sisters hate Trump?
No, but I know a few people that do, and I can't wait to tell them.
All right, you don't hate Trump, you just hate Dad.
They hate Trump.
Yeah,
make sure their dad's not there.
It's a rude line, though. Be careful how you use it. It's just very ugly to suggest that. But that number, that advantage is dropping. But that's pretty remarkable when you're starting to see, this is a year out. A lot can happen.
Yeah, but how much of this, Joey, is people, like they said, they voted for Biden because he wasn't Trump. All right? So, and we've talked about this before. In our country, our leader, we look at him as a father figure. So we get somebody like Trump up there, and you're like, man, he's... he's kind of like a stepdaddy. Not so nice, but he's running a tight ship.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we bring in the old goat, say, hey, man, we need somebody softer and gentler. We get Biden in there, and look what happens to our house. So maybe there is something to having somebody with a little bit of organization skills and a little bit of a heavy-handedness as a president.
Yeah, only 25% of Americans think Biden has the energy and the acuity.
I would literally like to know what time his day ends on an average daily.
Now, I want to just stay the hell away from that 25%. Are you blind?
Well, I think for the most part you do. I think you do stay away from it. For the most part, you do.
For the most part. Yeah, they used to call. I've yelled at them since.
Right.
272-9228. This is part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And so, hey, men, listen up. If you notice the lack of energy, motivation, and drive in your life, feel sluggish all the time, run down, and even low libido, no sex drive to speak of.
Right.
Just don't feel like you used to. It could be low T. So at Montgomery Men's Health, for only $99, just a quick blood draw, you can know your testosterone numbers. And once you get that testosterone score, if you do in fact have low testosterone, they have treatments there at Montgomery Men's Health that can truly change your life. Most men after these treatments, and there are many to pick from. It depends on where you are in life, what approach you want to take. There's things like a direct shot. Right. There's even like an outpatient surgery thing. There's more of creams or take a pill each day, these sorts of things. There's all sorts of options for how you treat it. But these treatments can change your life. Most men after them experience higher energy, better gains in the gym, better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns, and you might even notice an increased sex drive.
That's pretty good, I think, right there.
That's pretty awesome.
Be honest.
So check out Montgomery Men's Health today. Make an appointment. Call them at 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com and be sure to tell them, well, you heard about them here on News and Views in the afternoon. More News and Views after this.
Not know whether he's coming or going. But whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Hey guys, this is Todd Clark with River Region Contracting, your premier roofing contractor. At River Region Contracting, we know times are stressful, and we're here to help relieve some of that stress for the people whose lives were affected by the recent storms. At River Region Contracting, our knowledgeable staff will help you open up your claim and guide you through the claims process from beginning to end. Remember, your roof is your first line of defense for one of your biggest investments. So call us today for a free inspection at 334-356-8635. That's 334-356-8635.
Is your cell phone or iPad cracked, broken, or not working right? Don't let the big carrier stores sucker you into a new $1,100 device. Let XI Repair fix your device today. XI Repair fixes cell phones, computers, laptops, iPads, game consoles, drones, and more. Their certified technicians fix hundreds of devices every day. When your device needs care, call XI Repair, 334-777-1234, or Google XI Repair.
The holiday season is quickly approaching, and what better way to spread joy than by giving back to those in need? We're calling on all of you, our generous listeners, to make this holiday season extra special for those who might be struggling. Join us for our annual holiday food drive benefiting the Heart of Alabama Food Bank. It's simple. Just gather those non-perishable food items like canned goods, pasta, rice from your pantry, and drop them off at any of our convenient sponsor locations across the river region. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can feed families in need this holiday season. Bring your donations to Rick's Jewelers in Prattville. Rick's Jewelers, where quality and service shine through. Donate what you can. It's our annual food drive from Blue Water Broadcasting and Rick's Jewelers.
To find out how you can help, go to newstalk931.com.
Medical school needs to change radically. It's already a generation behind.
Dr. Robert Pearl is the former CEO of the Permanente Medical Group. Also, he's the former president of the Mid-Atlantic Permanente Medical Group. He led over 10,000 physicians, 43,000 staff, and was responsible for the medical care of 5 million members. Listen to What's Working Saturday noon, or find us online at what'sworkingcam.com.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From a little fender bender to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For over 35 years, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
This extended string of warmer than normal temperatures continues, and soon showers will be back in the forecast, but not right away. Today, dry with lots of sunshine and warm temperatures, high around 83. Partly cloudy, mild tonight, low in the mid-50s. Tomorrow, still dry, mostly sunny, high in the low to mid-80s. Then scattered random showers popping up in the forecast on Friday with a high in the mid-70s. In fact, we'll keep in at least a small chance of showers in the forecast for Saturday and Sunday, with highs in the mid to upper 60s over the Veterans Day weekend. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
John Bobo with Capital Tractor. Looking for a tractor, excavator, mower, ag implements, or other equipment? Capital Tractor is as close as your smartphone or computer. Find the best deals, financing information, and browse new and used inventory with just a click at capitaltractor.com.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. Now, before we close up shop here, we got enough time. This caught my eye.
Yeah?
I'm always looking for senators, and actually, I've been liking our two senators a lot lately.
Yes.
Coach Tuberville or Senator Britt.
Yep.
I know everybody's got critics and whatnot. Generally, though, if you ask me, am I happy with them? Yes. But there are senators from other states that really become like, man, if I lived in that state. Like Rand Paul, for instance. Or a new one is J.D. Vance of Ohio.
Yeah.
So J.D. Vance took to the floor, and in particular, the person who put this out on Twitter said, listen to every word, because it's that good. I don't know if I like that tone, but listen to every word. Let's listen in to Senator Vance.
That a matter of weeks ago, a matter of months ago, there were people in this chamber, there were people in the United States of America demanding that the state of Israel give money and weapons to the Ukrainians, money and weapons that the Israelis are now using this very moment to defend themselves. The idea that these policies are not in tension with one another, the idea that what happens in Russia and Ukraine is separate from what happens in Israel is not just obvious, it is common sense, and it has been borne out by the reality of the last couple of weeks. Now, my colleagues would like to collapse these packages. Too many of my colleagues would like to collapse these packages because they would like to use Israel as a political fig leaf for the president's Ukraine policy. But the president's Ukraine policy, just like the Israeli policy, should be debated. We should talk about it. We should discuss it. We should separate the costs and benefits and analyze them as distinct policies, because that is what the American people deserve of their legislature. Now, there are many questions we could ask about the Ukraine policy, many issues that have gone completely unanswered. Number one, what is our end goal in Ukraine? You hear commonly that the goal is to throw the Russians out of every ounce of Ukrainian territory, and yet when you talk to the president's own administration in private, they admit that that is a strategic impossibility. Let me repeat that. No rational human being in the president's administration believes that it is possible to throw the Russians out of every inch of Ukrainian territory. So why is that the public justification offered by many advocates of indefinite, unlimited Ukrainian aid? Because this debate is fundamentally dishonest. We are not telling the American people the truth because we know that if we did tell them the truth, they would not support an indefinite flow of money to Ukraine.
But Senator Vance, this is what we've done with all foreign policy decisions over the last several years. What are you talking about, kind sir? When it comes to foreign policy, you don't listen to the American people, you lead them by misleading them. They can't handle the truth. Well, thank God we have ways of getting around the usual corporate mouthpieces, and people can find some semblance of the truth. No, not always. But at least there are more voices out there these days that can suggest, hey, maybe what you're being told by the shiny networks, prestige networks out there are lies.
Yep.
But speaking of shiny prestige networks, tonight on NBC, we've got the GOP debate. Now, the fourth one's going to be in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Do you know who is covering that?
I don't even know.
You know, you ought to get a press pass.
Because at the end of the day, whether he's in prison or not, it's going to be Trump.
Right. But you ought to get a press pass. That'd be a good thing for you to do. Go up there, see those young college women. Maybe get interviewed again by one of those news ladies.
I don't need any temptation.
We all need a little temptation.
I don't know about that. Are you kind of looking snake-like there?
Just saying.
You slither on over.
Snaky snake.
Yeah. And like, whoa, man, like, why don't you calm down? Keep your pants on. More news and views after this.
Joey Clark.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Exit Realty is growing. Exit Realty focuses on everything it takes to make a real estate office successful and provides opportunity to brokers and agents unlike any other real estate brand.
Training, technology, an opportunity to earn an exceptional income and even retire and leave a legacy and benefits for your family. Interested in a great real estate career? Text BAMA to 85377 to learn more. That's BAMA to 85377.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views, final segment here. And as is tradition, let's go to Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm good. In here looking at a little bit of water damage. Besides that, it's been a really good day. How about y'all?
Pretty good on our end. And just remind folks real quick that this incredible sale that's usually only in October, you've got until the end of December.
End of December. I'm telling you guys, sometimes I amaze myself, and on this one I amazed myself that I was able to talk them into doing this thing for us. It doesn't hurt to be friends with the vice president.
There you go.
You know, it's not what you know, it's who you know, right?
That's very true.
So we can absolutely help you with all your floor needs. If you're in Destin or Prattville or wherever you are, call us at 285-8117, and we will come out and give you that free measurement.
Again, that number, 285-8117. You can also always go to PrattvilleCarpet.com. And, hey, stop by 2201 Copsford Road. See, what they got to offer there in person, everything that's on sale. And, well, I got to run, Ray, but you got another chance to hold that baby?
Oh, absolutely. Every day I'm going over to hold a baby.
Good
so when you get a minute, hey, call me. I got a funny story off the air about how to get out of jury duty.
Okay. Excellent.
All right, guys.
Thank you, Ray. See you, bro.
Let's go to Sam.
Hey, Sam.
Hey, fellas. No, when you were talking about doing the press thing, Joe, I just wanted to remind you, Greg Budell has got the fantastic, he's got the press, his media hat. I don't know.
Oh, yes, I remember.
Yeah. Good looking, gray fedora.
Yeah, he used to do that a lot on the weird news on the old Atlas or whatever it was called.
Media.
It's strange the things that stay with us. That's it. That's all I got, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow. How about that?
What do you think of our matching outfits?
That's fantastic. They reminded me of the good old movie Air America.
Air America.
Y'all are getting ready. Yeah, y'all headed for working for the CIA. Good patriotic men. Yeah, going to fly something in and out of some place.
Yep.
Yeah, it's more though. Unfortunately, it's more like Spies Like Us, Doctor.
Ooh, there you go.
That's a better movie.
Still, political season, good show, and y'all look great. How about that?
All right, man. Thank you, Sammy.
Appreciate it, Sam.
All right.
See you, bro.
Well, did we learn anything today, Eddie?
I got something, but you're not going to like it.
Oh, no.
I learned today, I was reminded today, we don't have a Salvation Army in this town, but we got a hell of a water park.
We don't have a Salvation Army in this town, but we got a hell of a water park.
And those two are connected.
Really? Oh, yeah, because that's where the Salvation Army was, right? Yeah, that's interesting. We also learned that the GOP is not good.
Have we ever wore these shirts on a day when people actually win, by the way?
No, I'm going to celebrate America whether or not the grand old party loses or loses.
I just need some wins, Joey. Need some wins, man.
I told you we're going to get tired of winning. We're going to win so much. You're going to get a headache. You're going to get tired of winning. Don't you be complaining when
I
you're
got
like,
used
Johnny,
to it.
I don't want to.
But I could use some of those again.
You could use some wins?
I could use some wins. We as a nation could use some wins.
Well, we learned also today that Kay Ivey is
that's right.
super free.
Super freaky.
She actually got album credits on there, the Rick James album.
That's
I didn't know
cool.
that. I appreciate
Yeah.
Sweet D informing us of that.
Yeah.
But she's also calling for unity to move the state forward. I don't know what that means.
I was going to say, well,
then I asked Parker Snyder, asked Jeff Poor about it. I asked all sorts of folks, what does she even mean by that? I thought we seemed pretty united. Well, except for the Birmingham North, it's like their own
whole
kingdom.
different state, yeah.
Yeah, and they run everything in Montgomery.
Pretty much. You noticed that, huh?
I don't think it's fair.
I don't either.
Maybe we should start doing that. Start yelling and screaming, it's not fair. Do you think it'll make a difference?
No. Yeah. No. But it's good to see that Meemaw got a new catchphrase.
Indeed. And I hope Senator Tuberville succeeds in making whatever, pick a standard time, daylight savings time, pick a time.
Please.
And let's stick to it. We also learned that, today, Katie Brett.
Yeah, that's right.
Senator Brett releases God Calls Us to Do Hard Things. It's her memoir of sorts. And I started it this morning, and we're going to have the senator on Friday as they launch that book tour.
See, that'd have been a good day to wear these.
I think it's a little obnoxious for it.
Yeah.
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 I think you've got a point there. Now, we didn't get to this, but we could learn it here real quick in the last 2 minutes. Disney executives reportedly are, quote-unquote, butthurt. Not just upset. Not just a little miffed. Not insulted. They are butthurt over South Park's joining the Panderverse special.
Okay, if you haven't seen it, see it.
Is it that good?
It is, yes. Yes. And I haven't watched South Park in probably a year or two, and I caught that clip, and I went to it immediately.
Yeah, there were people on Twitter saying, this show is racist, homophobic, sexist, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, that's why it's popular. It has been for over 2 decades.
Everything, yeah.
It's amazing.
Cartman, his character is amazing.
But why do you insist on having boorish, insulting comedy? It's like, that's the whole point, because it makes you upset. Like, relax.
Yep.
Relax. But we always have the Tipper Gores of the world, whether they're Democrats or Republicans, just want to ruin things because I can't even watch my own kids.
Buzz Killingtons.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm happy that South Park drew blood. Whenever they actually get a star or the executives or folks really upset, I know it's a good episode. I got to go watch it. So and it's like a movie length, feature length thing. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I had to clip it out, but it's great. I mean, Cartman's character is just great.
I'll have to check it out then. And tomorrow we'll learn how the stars have turned to a controversial procedure to reverse aging.
Yeah, I read about that this weekend. Got to be honest, Joey, kind of gross.
But we don't have time to talk about it.
Thank God.
It's gross?
It's gross.
Have to do with, tomorrow.
Yeah, it does.
Y'all stay tuned. Happy Hour with Greg Budell and the lovely Rosie. They're next.
Joey Clark.